Finally, North America is getting the Polestar 4. I've been watching my European and Chinese friends get their Polestar 4s. Of course, we have the Polestar 3, but we want the Polestar 4. And we've been watching, twiddling our thumbs, wondering when we're going to get the Polestar 4. And finally, it's happening this fall. If you order today, you can expect delivery sometime between October and November. We are getting the Polestar 4. Let's talk about it. Now, the Polestar 4 for North America is being built in South Korea by Renault. And this is part of Polestar's approach with partnering with other auto manufacturers to kind of help build their vehicles, help lighten the burden of having to make a ton of investments. And for them, it can still be pretty cost competitive. So the vehicle, Polestar 4, is being made by Renault in South Korea. Then it's going to be shipped all the way here to us in North America, particularly for me in the United States. Not that I've ordered a Polestar 4, but I'm definitely intrigued with the vehicle. Now, to start us off, we have a rear-wheel drive as well as an all-wheel drive version. Every single version of the Polestar 4 has a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, and all of them are 400 volts with 200 kilowatt peak DC charging. And highest range, the long range single motor, that's 300 miles of range. Then if you go all-wheel drive, you're getting 270 miles of range. That regular rear-wheel drive, that's going to be 6.9 second 0 to 60. But if you get the all-wheel drive, that's a 3.7 second 0 to 60. Even with the performance pack. So 0 to 60 on the non-performance version of the dual motor is the same as the performance version. And same horsepower. And same amount of torque. Pretty interesting. Now, it starts at $56,400. Technically, it starts at $57,800 because it starts at $56,400, but there is a immediate $1,400 destination charge. So having to ship the vehicle from Korea to the United States to Canada, it's a $1,400 USD charge. And so the vehicle starts at $57,800 and goes all the way up for the top trim without other options, $72,900. Now, just looking at this kind of sheet here of what the options for the Polestar 4 configurations are in terms of powertrain and pricing, really makes me look at this vehicle, the Polestar 4, and compare it to the Cadillac Lyriq. Pricing is actually pretty on par with each other. So it's going to be interesting to see what that looks like, how well the Polestar 4 is going to sell. It's weird because the Polestar 4 is smaller than the Polestar 3 technically, and it's a bigger number, which is, it's like tricking me here. I'm like, it's Polestar 4, but it's technically a Polestar 3 in terms of size, and the Polestar 3 is really the Polestar 4. Anyway, it is competitive to the Lyriq in terms of pricing. The Polestar 3, not so much. That is pretty premium up there in pricing. Now, these range figures here are just Polestar's numbers. These are not EPA certified numbers. Polestar says that we're going to get the EPA numbers later this year, but they said that these should be directly on par with what they expect the EPA to produce. Now, kind of going through the Polestar 4 website here, this thing looks absolutely amazing. The Swedes and the Chinese really know how to design cars, don't they? I would say the entire Geely lineup of vehicles all look really, really well. And of course, that includes Volvo as well. In fact, the Polestar 4 shares the same platform as the Zeekr 1. And I should mention, the Zeekr 1 is an 800 volt charging vehicle, 800 volt battery pack vehicle, and has great charging. And the Polestar 4, which again, is kind of same platform, 400 volts, not as good charging. I imagine, right, it being produced in South Korea versus being produced in China, there's going to be some cost differences, some manufacturing differences, different parts. But I'm surprised that they didn't try to at least match the Polestar 4 with what the Zeekr 1 has. It's pretty interesting. But in terms of, again, overall design and what Polestar has offered us previously has all been good. Also worth mentioning, this has a different operating system, still based on Google OS, compared to the Polestar 3 and the Polestar 2. So unlike the Polestar 2 and the Polestar 3, which have vertical screens, the Polestar 4 has a horizontal screen, kind of like a Tesla, kind of like a Rivian, and it allows them to change the software of the Polestar 4. So it's a little different than the Polestar 3, but again, it's all Google OS based. And so it's going to be generally the exact same experience. A good experience. Now, we've been talking about the Polestar 4 for quite some time. In fact, on our Out of Spec Reviews channel, we have a video kind of walking through it. So you can watch that here in the iCard. But let's go through the configurator of the Polestar 4. Maybe I'll kind of show you guys what I'm into, and it shows you guys what they're offering. So again, we have the long range single motor rear wheel drive up to 300 miles, says EPA here because again, I think that's what they're expecting. But even in their press release, they say it's not really EPA. So they're kind of lying low key. In fact, I'll see here in the product disclaimer, preliminary data subject to final EPA certification. So they're lying to us. But 300 miles, EPA, and then for the dual motor all-wheel drive, you are getting 270 miles of expected EPA range, 3.7 second 0 to 60. You guys might know I have a LA Silver R1T. I love the color silver, but we have metallic, metallic lightning, metallic snow, metallic electron, which is a really nice kind of bluish hue here. I really like that. We also have stratus, which looks really nice. I'd probably go with something like that. And then you have space, which is your classic black. Very nice looking. Volvo Polestar have very good black colored vehicles. And then you also have in matte, you have, which is only available with the dual motor all-wheel drive, gold matte is the name of the color. And then we have Stratus matte. I think one of the interesting things, which we all know about Polestar 4, the rear. It's missing a rear back. It doesn't have a back glass. So you're dealing with a digital rear view mirror. Take notes, Tesla. You don't just put a fake digital rear view mirror on the camera. You actually give people an actual digital rear view mirror. But this has no back glass, and so it's covered. And you can see this is where the camera is, and this component here for the rear, of course, is another rear camera when you are in reverse. But yeah, no back glass. Now onto the interior, we have charcoal with charcoal deco. Then we have charcoal with zinc deco. And you can kind of actually get a better look at what that looks like here in terms of the side panels. A little different there. Then we get over to mist with zinc deco. Also a nice interior. I think I would just go with a classic black, keep it stylish. Then you also have an option, the Napa upgrade, ventilation, massage, and front headrest speakers. Very nice. And of course, you can see those ventilated holes here. And then for other upgrades, you have Pilot Pack, which is your lane change autonomous level 2 system. And that comes included. Then you have your Plus Pack, Harman Kardon premium sound, head-up display, 3-zone climate control, and more. I'll have to ask Tom to see if he'll ever be able to get his hands on the Polestar 4 so we can get a real understanding of what the audio is like in the Polestar 4. I wonder if it's much different than the Harman Kardon sound system that we see in the Polestar 3. This being a little smaller, sloped back, no back glass, maybe that allows them to have better audio. We will see. And then, of course, you get the premium pack, 22-inch performance wheels. Polestar engineered chassis tuning, Brembo brakes, but again, that does not change the 0 to 60 time. It's kind of lame. How are you going to give me a performance pack and not give me a faster 0 to 60? Come on. Then for some of the other options, an electrochromatic glass roof, something that we see in the Taycan and the Rivian R1S and R1T. And then as another option, you can get color matched moldings. So this black trim here at the bottom can just be color matched with your vehicle. I think I would go with that as well. Then with wheels, you have your 20-inch Aero wheels, your 21-inch sport wheels. That's $1,800 more for the sport wheels. And then the performance wheels, which of course only come with the performance pack, and nice yellow Brembo calipers. Looking very nice. We are expecting to see deliveries of this vehicle in the fall. I am excited to see these around the US to see how many of these Polestar can sell, right? Cheaper starting price compared to the Polestar 3, which I think just makes it, of course, a better option for many people. The cheaper the price, the more people who are able to access it. And so, yeah, you have a vehicle that more people might go for compared to the Polestar 3. Also, kind of going through the notes that Polestar has here in their press release. Polestar has 3 models in its lineup: Polestar 2, Polestar 3, and Polestar 4. Planned models include the Polestar 5-door GT to be introduced in 2025, the Polestar 6 Roadster, and the Polestar 7 compact SUV as well, with its vehicles currently manufactured on 2 continents, North America and Asia. Polestar plans to diversify its manufacturing footprint further, with production of Polestar 7 planned in Europe. So very soon, we'll be getting the Polestar 5, the Polestar 6, and then the Polestar 7. To my understanding, the Polestar 7 was supposed to replace the Polestar 2. So at some point, we will see the Polestar 2 kind of kick the bucket. That's at least what we've known so far. Maybe that has changed. But it looks like Polestar will be kind of a premium, larger sedan, and then majority SUV lineup. And I'll read through this press release so we make sure we cover all of our bases. Polestar announces the 2026 Polestar 4 is officially on sale in the United States with a starting price of $56,400 and available to be configured now on Polestar.com. Polestar 4 production for North America is planned to start in Busan, South Korea this summer, with first customer deliveries expected in the fall of 2025. Polestar 4 transforms the aerodynamics of a coupe and the space of an SUV into a new breed of SUV coupe. Design cues first seen on Polestar's concept cars are brought to production in the fastest Polestar production car to date. Following the successful launch of the Polestar 4 in other markets around the world, we are thrilled to open the order books for the 2026 Polestar 4 in North America, which will all be built in Busan, South Korea, said Rick Bryant, head of Polestar North America. Polestar 4 confidently enters the premium performance class with the D SUV segment, which means midsize SUV. I had to look that up. Me and Jordan were talking about it, and we're like, what does that mean? D SUV just means midsize SUV. Our SUV coupe's innovative design offers generous interior space and a stunning appearance, coupled with the assembled in the US Polestar 3. We now offer 2 dynamic SUV options for North American consumers. Now, if you are interested about learning about the Polestar 3, I do have an interview with a Polestar 3 owner. You can click that in the iCard or linked in the description below to get a full understanding of what owning a newer generation Polestar is like. Of course, we've had the Polestar 2 for quite some time, but the Polestar 3, which is produced in South Carolina, which is pretty nice. And then when we're getting the Polestar 3, if you are ordering a Polestar 3, feel free to reach out to us. I'm definitely curious to hear from a Polestar 4 owner. Did I mix up the numbers there? Polestar 4 owner about what it's like owning a Polestar 4. We've already talked to a Polestar 3 owner. Polestar 4 features a plethora of standard content, including Pilot Pack, which includes Pilot Assist and Lane Change Assist, and all versions benefit from 20-inch alloy aero wheels, panoramic glass roof, adaptive cruise control, 360 parking camera with 3D view, an energy-saving heat pump, 11 kilowatt AC charging, e-latch doors, power-operated tailgate with soft close, wireless phone charging, digital key for Apple devices, and 8-way electrically adjustable driver seat and 6-way adjustable for the passenger seats. Very nice. The optional Plus Pack provides customers with a graphical head-up display, automatically dimmed exterior mirrors, 12-way electrical adjustable seats with manual leg extension, electronic reclinable rear seats, illuminated Polestar front logo, Microtech upholstery, 3-zone climate control with rear control and entertainment screen, heated steering wheel and rear seats, and a Carmen Cardone premium sound system. And of course, the performance pack is available on the long-range dual motor only, blah, 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 blah. And kind of moving on, innovative premium materials such as Microtech, a bio-attributed vinyl that replaces crude oil with pine oil, which results in a 70% lower CO2 footprint than traditional PVC, is used as a standard vegan upholstery in Polestar 4. Carpets are made from 100% Econol polymade derived from discarded fishing nets and other plastic waste. Interior headlinings manufactured using recycled PET. In total, 85% of Polestar 4 is recyclable, and several components can be reused or remanufactured. Tracing materials is the first step towards achieving more responsible sourcing and production processes. Polestar 4 is available with optional upholstery made from 100% traced and animal welfare secured Napa leather, sourced responsibly and ethically by Bridge of Wear. Interesting. Polestar 4 is on the way. Very interested to see what the head-to-head is like compared to some of the other vehicles in this segment. Again, the Cadillac Lyriq. I'm even thinking maybe the Genesis GV60. What else is out there kind of in that lineup? I would say even the Polestar 4, once you start kind of trimming upwards starts to kind of compete with the Polestar 3. Once you trim up the Polestar 3, it starts to compete with the Polestar 4 in some ways. But I am excited to see this on the road. We are finally getting more Polestar vehicles. With all of the tariff conversations going on, it's definitely made it interesting to see where vehicles are being made and then, produced and then sent off. I could imagine for Polestar, all this tariff conversation and all these changes, they've been steadily just waiting and looking at when is the right time to release the Polestar 4, if they even do in North America. But we are finally getting it. Look, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Out of Spec Bits, and I'll see you guys in the next one.